episode of the Quarantine Kitchen. Today we're making chicken and waffles, one of my favorites. As we're going through this, I'm going to make sure we have the recipe coming up on the side, and I'll make sure to post it in the end as well. But it's pretty easy. You can kind of take whatever your favorite waffle recipe is, and I suggest starting with the batter first. Even before that, I have some chicken here. All right, just some sliced up chicken breast and some chicken tenders in some buttermilk. Let that sit in there for a couple hours. The acid does its magic, tenderizes that whole thing up, but we're going to come back to what we're going to do with the chicken in just a couple minutes. Ideally, whenever you want to make a batter, you want to give the time flour to kind of really hydrate, the baking powder to start leavening. So we're going to start with that. Let's grab the whisk. Nice big bowl. We've got flour, sugar, salt, baking powder. Give that a quick little mix in there. And to that, we're going to add milk, oil, vanilla. Just a regular canola oil is just fine. Right. And then 2 eggs. We're going to get mixed in that. And just whisk that all together. That's about as easy as, a waffle is really going to be. You could make Belgian waffles for this. You could use a yeast raised. You could add one where you make a meringue and fold that in. I don't know about you, but when I want waffles, I wake up in the morning and I want waffles. You can make this really fast and you don't really have to think about it too much. You want to whisk this until it is nice and smooth. So right now, little lumps. Whisk that really quick out. But the nice thing about letting this sit is it gives those lumps time to really absorb in all that water. So you're less likely to have we call it a flour bomb in your final waffle. All right, so that's looking pretty good, and that's it. It's super easy. It's not meant to be something that's really overly complicated. This will make enough waffles, so we're going to make little waffle sandwiches. So you only need 2. What's nice about waffles is throw them in a bag, freeze them up, toast them off. Who needs Eggo anymore? Hopefully Eggo's not watching this. So we're going to set this aside. Put that over here. And let's talk chicken. So here again, we've got our chicken that has been sitting in buttermilk. It's getting happy. And then we have a little mix here. We got some flour, we have salt, black pepper, and any type of Cajun spice or Old Bay, something like that. So we have a nice mix overall. Just take your hands, give that a nice combine. Some people like to add just a pinch of baking soda or baking powder. It's completely up to you. We're gonna double batter these, or really we're using a dry mix. So we're gonna take them out of the buttermilk, in here, give them a coat, and I've got a plate lined up to be used. So we're going to go buttermilk, flour here, and then we're going to do everything twice. So we're going to put like a second coat on it. It makes it super crispy on the outside. I'm going to use a glove for the sake of, I don't have to wash my hands quite as much. So let's pop that on there. So again, make sure you have a nice coating of buttermilk on there. We got our piece of chicken here. Right. We're just going to give that a light toss. Right. Now, if we were to fry this up here, it'd be nice. Right. But by adding that second layer on there, we're going to ensure a nice good crust. Right. Shake off the excess, lay it down. Do all of your pieces. Let's get these all nice and coated. Try not to get a ton onto your fingers or your gloves, and you'll be a lot neater about this. So, number 2, a little shake. I think I've got 4 pieces in here today. Give it a little shimmy. Nice and coated. Shake, shake, shake. 3, and the last one. Got this little piece here. Lay it in. This kind of helps get everything mixed. If you start trying to grab with all of these wetness, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. So just try to work with the chicken itself. All right, and then we're going to repeat the process. So back to number 1, quick little dip, get it coated, pick it back up, and we're going to coat again. Again, this is just going to build a much thicker crust on there. Think like KFC chicken kind of crust. That's what we're going for. So a lot more crust on there. Really happy chicken. So you can also use a thicker cultured buttermilk. This one's a little bit thinner. This is a Bulgarian style. You can kind of use whatever you've got. Alright, just got 2 more pieces here. And you can see it's very easy to get these kind of like fingertips here. Try not to scrape those off as much as you can. Last one. And I see that there was one hiding in me. We'll do that one real quick too. It's a little guy was hiding on us. This is the actual tender. So what I did is I sliced up a chicken breast. Ideally you should use chicken tenders for this all. I've just kind of broke down an actual chicken, so we're using this. But it'll get the job done. Call it the tender because it is more tender. It's not trick marketing. It actually is more tender. Okay, so let's get all of this out of the way. Nice thing is easy cleanup when you have a glove. I know gloves are a shortage. Don't worry, this was food grade. Okay, so cleaned up. So here we have our chicken ready to go. And now we have to talk about oil. We're using a neutral canola oil, and we want to bring that up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that is. Come on, there we go. Shouldn't take too long. Heat it up just before. Let's clear all this out of the way. Make sure you have some type of container lined with a little bit of paper towel. So I've just got a bowl here, and then you're going to need something to get it from point A to point B. We're just going to lay this in with our fingers, but you're going to need something to actually take it out and move it. I would suggest a pair of tongs. You can use a spider or something like that, a metal slotted spoon, don't use a plastic slotted spoon. You're asking for an accident there. So how are we doing? We're at 240, 250, 260, awesome. So if you're feeling really savvy, you can kind of do everything all at once. Here I've got my waffle maker. All right, this is a pretty well seasoned one. It's already preheated. What you're going to want to do, vegetable oil spray. Little top, little bottom. Bring our batter back. So we've got our batter here, ladle. All right. What's really important is you get a nice even coat all the way around. Let's see how we're doing with our oil. What you can do is make your waffles, put them in a warm oven, and then come back and do your chicken. You really don't want your chicken to wait around too long. For about 300 degrees. Perfect time to get a waffle going. So we spread this all the way around. Pretty much a ladle and a half on a standard home ladle will get the job done. You don't want to go too much or it's going to flood outside of the whole thing. This one's one of the ones you flip it over, so we flip it over, we'll wait for that to be green, and we'll be good to go. Let's get out a plate for that for when it comes out. And our oil should be just about there. Alright, 260, 300, 310, 320, 330. 350 is what we're looking for. I'm using a small pan. We're going to do something called shallow frying. Doesn't need to be fully submerged. If you've got a deep fryer, you could totally use it. I'm going to go just above 350, so when I add these, it will cool down on me. Alright, so time to get these in. So we're going to go in, gently lay the chicken in. Otherwise you're going to burn yourself. Probably go in with 3 pieces, should just fit. We'll keep those for another minute. Alright, cross-contamination. Wash hands real quick. What we're looking for is a nice golden brown. This chicken's so small that we don't have to really worry too much about undercooking it. But if you're looking at it, 165 is what you're going for with an internal temperature. We keep monitoring our temperature of our oil. Downside is when you use a shallow pan like this, when you're deep frying, it's very quickly, you're going to gain temperature again. I'm pretty hot right now, so I'm just going to put this on real low. Be aware, it's going to bubble. It's going to, get all kind of fizzy and everything. Be careful. And again, I've got everything ready to rock and roll here. So it's looking pretty good. I'm going to give it an initial turn here. And also oil to seep in there. Again, always checking on your oil. Our waffle, smelling good. No smell-o-vision. Sorry. But once that's ready, straight onto our plate. So at 360 degrees. You can be plus or minus about 5 to 10 degrees with your oil. That's perfectly alright. But we do want a nice crust on there. See how we're doing here with our waffle. Wasn't quite green yet. If it's resisting you a little bit, give it some more time. Usually with these things, if it's green, it's ready to go. If you're using one of the old cast iron ones, it'll be a little more touch and feel. But really, it should just take a couple minutes on there. Okay. You want to start thinking about how you're going to plate this all up. We've got some really nice ground maple syrup. Some Mike's hot honey. If you haven't had hot honey, it's delicious. It's honey and it's spicy. So we're going to do a light coating on the chicken with that. Alright, it says it's ready. Let's take a look. Beautiful. Alright. So we can take that out. Use a fork to give it a hang. I'm getting a little trouble today. There we go. Last one, 4. Great. So that's ready to rock and roll. Let's give our chicken another turn here. Look at that beautiful color. Happy little chicken. Alright, let's get ready to plate up. We'll fry up these later. So, pick your favorite waffle here. We're going to do a sandwich. So we're going to do a waffle, we're going to do chicken, a little bit of our hot honey, a little bit of maple syrup, another waffle, we're going to skewer it, and then just a touch more maple syrup. It's one of those things, if you're not getting messy, you're not doing it right. Just about that. Get a little bit more color. And this is really as easy as that. You could do a sauteed chicken with something like that. Traditional in the South, you'd end up getting bone-in chicken if you don't want to deal with that. Just buy boneless. It seems to be more trendy these days. Alright, so chicken's coming off. Now, the reason we're using the paper towel here is really just to wick away any of that excess oil. Turn off our heat while we're not working with it. Do that little tap down. Alright. This is looking delicious. So our chicken can come out. Nice little 2 pieces here. Some of you be like, well, that's way too much chicken. It's up to you. You want to make this like a triple decker, you want to serve it on the side, that's fine. Alright, let's go in with our other waffle here on top. So you can kind of just build out the whole thing. I'm going to do a little bit of hot honey because it's really nice. Hopefully it's not too crystallized in there. Come on. Little drizzle on there. A little bit of maple syrup. I'm not going to add too much maple syrup because I also have the honey on there. Just enough to give us a nice light coating. Waffle on top, skewer, and then we have a nice little sandwich. If you're feeling a little more ambitious, a little more syrup on top. But this is our chicken and waffles. Nothing really crazy about it. Delicious, tasty, and enjoy.